Welcome back after the break to Inside the World of Box Lacrosse. ITWOBL. Stephen Stamp, Adam Levy, Greg Beecher here, breaking down this week's coming games. And we're going to start with our pick'em. We've got 8 games on the docket this weekend, Stamper. It's going to be a full weekend of Box Lacrosse, including a very rare and unusual Monday night game. So do you want to kick off the picks with the Friday night clash?
Yeah, and this one's really interesting. Vancouver, Ottawa, what a great comeback, a great win for them last week against Georgia. Vancouver, we've just talked about how good they're looking. It's so hard. They both won. It's right. Somebody gave me a tip. The teams that lose the week before seem to come back and win the next week. Teams that win can come back and lose. Both these teams won. I am just going with, and I'm going with your approach of just kind of making my final decision right now. I'm thinking Vancouver because I still think that Callum Jones being out is tough for Ottawa.
I think that Callum Jones' injury is definitely key there. So it is going to be interesting to see, obviously, the addition of Eric Fennell now in the Ottawa Black Bears lineup. How does that change things up? Obviously, again, it's unfortunate that Riley O'Connor is out. So key absences for Ottawa. I'm going to be a bit of an old homer and go Vancouver with this one. I think it's going to be an incredible game, but Vancouver has a tough weekend ahead of them, to say the least. So if they can win on Friday, that takes, I would say, a little bit of the pressure off on a bizarre schedule now where they have a Friday game and a Monday game. I'm not sure how they're going to deal with that time in between, but Vancouver for me.
Rochester, Halifax, I am going to they're so obviously evenly matched in this battle of the old and new Nighthawks. I'm going to take Rochester because I think the most likely occurrence in a home and home week apart is that the teams split.
I'm going to go Halifax only because that barn in Halifax has been rocking. They really feed off that energy. Cody Jamieson back. Give me the Halifax Thunderbirds on this one.
Fair enough. Saskatchewan at Toronto. You can go first on this one, Adam.
Yeah. We were talking about how Toronto's been so close, but I have to be consistent. I've been hyping up the Saskatchewan Rush all season long. I think that they pull this one out. I think it's going to be another really, really close one. But as we've just talked about, great to see the development and progress of the Rock.
Yeah, I've been a big Saskatchewan believer. Actually, the last couple of years, I thought of them as a playoff team, and really, they were so close. Tied in that big group last year. The year before, they would have been in if it went back to the first game of the season when Josh Courier, I thought, fairly clearly scored in overtime, but it was waved off and not counted. And they wind up losing, and that made the difference all those weeks later. So I think Saskatchewan's really good, but I can't pick Toronto to go 0-6. Somebody's going to step up. They've got Challen Rogers back. They've really battled with Buffalo. I'll take the Rock.
You would hope, and just as a quick little nugget here, a rematch of the 2015 NLL Finals. Yes. Mark Matthews was on that team for Saskatchewan. Hopefully he's back in the lineup for Toronto, but it's nice to have one of those old matchups back again, and maybe that does fuel Toronto because they were unfortunately on the wrong side of that one.
Colorado at Albany. I think Colorado is playing very well, showing so much, but I'm going to stick with the teams splitting the home and home and think that Albany comes back. No, you know what? Last time I waffled, I blew it because I had Rochester's big win that I took off the board for myself. But boy, Albany's dealing with some injuries. I'm going to go with the Firewolves. I'll take them.
I have to say that barring that I don't get sick again, I will be at this game in Albany. Very excited to see the Colorado Mammoth in person. I'm going to go with the Colorado Mammoth. Congratulations, by the way, to Pat Coyle on passing Chris Hall for the 9th most coaching wins in NLL history. I think that, the Mammoth defense wasn't great in the beginning of that one, but in the second half, they really shut things down. I think they keep things rolling on the road and take this win.
Philadelphia on the road on Saturday, and they are in Bandit land, and I'm not picking against Buffalo until they lose, so I'll take the Bandits.
I think that's pretty fair, and it's tough because Philly, it looks so good. Oh man, you know what? Just to be contrarian, I'm gonna go Philadelphia.
Good.
Yeah,
I like it. I think it's a good pick. Philly's good. They done so much to reconfigure that roster, and it seems to be coming together pretty quickly. I just can't do it, but
Yeah.
until somebody beats Buffalo.
I mean, it's
I think we
amazing.
should pick against Buffalo every week because we
Yeah.
don't think they're going 18-0. They're going to lose at some point, right? So if you just
Yeah.
keep picking against them every week, you'll get it right. You can ignore all the times that we're wrong.
And the similarities just quickly between this Philadelphia Wings team and there's been a lot of reference to the 2008 old Philadelphia Wings squad. They started 6-0, and that team had also one of the top offenses in the league at that time, which Philadelphia only second to the Buffalo Bandits. So I think that there is some kind of really big push, a historical reference there, but I think that they are looking really good. And if there is a team that's going to beat Buffalo, I think Philly can do it.
Okay. Georgia goes to Calgary. I'll go first again because I just think the Swarm bounce back. I think they are playing very well. I think they're going to go and get their 5th win and stay right up around the top of the standings.
Yeah, I think that the Swarm, well, you know what? I'm going to go Calgary on this one only because we've talked
Because you've
about
seen my
this.
record in the picks and you're taking whatever I don't.
Well, I'm more looking at the trend of, we saw this last year as well, where Georgia, they would get streaky. Right now they're in a bit of this slump, and this happens. Do they bounce back? I think that they very well could, but right now they just seem to have kind of the lapses that snake bit them last season, and I think that Calgary, they need a big win, so I'm going to go Calgary on this one.
Have we gone opposite on every single pick?
Oh, wow. Yeah. How
Yeah.
about that?
Well, I'm going to go first then. San Diego. The teams that made the trade foreshadowing. We have a trade section coming up. I'm going to take San Diego because I think they'll win.
Yeah, I think San Diego wins in this one. Very interesting. Very interesting, though, that we'll go over the trades in the next section. But that these two teams are facing each other. It'll be interesting to see if both Drew Belgrave and Dylan Watson are suiting up for this one for their new clubs, which would be very interesting. But San Diego wins this one, in my opinion.
Vancouver is at Philadelphia in the Monday nighter. I know a lot of those Wings players are Eagles fans. How much does it take out of them going through the up and down emotion of an NFL division round game the night before? Do they have anything left to face Vancouver? You can pick.
Yeah, I think, again, a game that I will hopefully be at on Monday. Very excited to be at only the 3rd Monday regular season game in NLL history. We don't get a lot of those. First Martin Luther King Day game, so very exciting for that one as well. I think that I'm going to go Philadelphia on this one. I think that the home crowd, we'll see how many people actually show up on a Monday night after a long weekend. But I think that Philly, they look really good. Vancouver, with a very weird travel schedule, I think that they're going to be more bitten by the travels. I know Philly's coming from Buffalo, but I think Philly's going to pull that one out.
Yeah, I'm going to go. That's a tough one to me again. The one thing that happens, I'll tell you, when you said, what are they going to do, the Warriors in between, trips like this often wind up being great bonding experiences for the team. They get to spend more time together than they generally do on the weekend. A lot of times, you travel in, you get together, you have shoot around, lunch, do things, play, then you hang out a bit, but then you're off traveling again. Having that Sunday to just spend the day as a team and do some, I'm sure they're going to get some stuff going. I think it's going to be a really great experience for them, actually. But does that manifest itself on Monday, or does it wait and have a longer term impact? I think I'll go with the Wings for this one as well.
You took the words right out of my mouth, because I was going to say, I think it's the latter of the two as well, that long term, that time will be incredibly beneficial.
Okay. By the way, we missed you last week. It's reminding me because you didn't. Oh my goodness! Don't even look at the records. That's horrifying. I don't know why you even put them up on the screen, Craig. You must hate me. It's great to have you back.
You're still doing better than I am. I will say that, is you're definitely still
Low bar,
doing better
my
than
friend.
I am. We let Preston's picks as we went through and copied his, and those were Adam's picks last week. So we could at least see his record.
There was a cool situation last week where had Albany won, Preston would have won Preston's picks. But instead, because I picked Colorado, I actually ended up winning the Lacrosse Classifieds, who you got with a perfect 7-0 record. So it was a good weekend of picking for the Levi family.
Wow. Wow. We don't need to talk about that anymore. We'll move on. We're going to take a quick break and we're going to come back and talk about the trades that have happened in the National Lacrosse League over the last couple of days. For Greg Beecher and Adam Levy, I'm Steven Stamp. This is Inside the World of Box Lacrosse. We'll see you in like a minute.
Thank you so much for watching. We appreciate all the support. If you'd like to be able to comment and talk with Steven Stamp and Adam Levy during these live shows, join the Blue Squatch Productions membership on YouTube. This allows you the opportunity to comment during the live shows and access to our Discord where you can ask questions ahead of time and get real-time responses. Thanks so much, everybody.